Razer, I don't know what we did to deserve all these great mice this year. First, we started with the Viper V3 Pro, which is in the running to be one of the greatest mice of all time. And now we have the And now we have this Deathadder V3 Hyperspeed, which destroys the Hyperspeed name, but I think it's for the best. Because hear me out, normally their Hyperspeed series was seen as their budget-friendly series that you'd have to make compromises on, meaning you'd have to have a AA battery, no rechargeable battery seen whatsoever, and then because of that they had to move up the sensor placement on the mouse, which people hated. Well, now it's hard to see any compromises, if any at all, with the Deathadder V3 Hyperspeed. First, it now has a port on the front where you can now charge the mouse and has the sensor move back to a sensible position in the middle of the mouse. Check and check. They've also included this rubber cable for the charging in the box, which is unusable for gaming, so you have to use another cable from another mouse if you want to play and charge at the same time. I suspect they did this to lower the price on the mouse, which I'm not too mad at. You will now get 100 hours of battery life in 1000 Hz mode compared to 90 hours in the original Deathadder V3 Pro. So like I said, where's the compromise here? We're even getting 10 more hours of battery life with the new Hyperspeed. Not only that, they've also sneakily changed the size of the mouse. It's now more of a medium as opposed to like a large-handed mouse. Instead of blindly just changing the mouse and making the mouse as small as possible, they've strategically shaved off portions of the mouse after working with the pros. I'll throw up a chart of all the areas that they changed. They changed stuff like the height of the scroll wheel, so the mouse sits a little bit lower than the original. They've also reduced the area near where your thumb is placed. This feels way flatter than the original Deathadder V3 Pro, but still just as comfortable as the original. This is a game changer for me because as much as I love the original Deathadder V3 Pro, it's just a little bit too big for my hands. And this is perfect. My hands are 19 by 8.5 centimeters by comparison. And man, this thing is just perfection. Now this mouse is perfect for small-handed and medium-handed users. If you've been waiting for a smaller Deathadder, just go ahead and just order this mouse right now. When it comes to grip styles, of course, it's going to be great for palm grip, which is what I switched over to recently. Then there's also the case of claw grip and relaxed palm, which it works for perfectly as well. And then some people do like the combination of like an ergonomic mouse and a fingertip grip, and that'll work too. Since it is a flatter mouse, it doesn't hit the top of your palm when you're pushing and pulling with those fingertips. They've also managed to shave off 8 grams off the mouse at 55 grams. This thing is an absolute dream in the hand. It is so well balanced. They did an amazing job. It's that attention to detail that really sets Razer apart from these other companies. Now, when comparing this to something like a Zowie EC2, it's a lot straighter where your thumb goes and the mouse feels a lot flatter, like I said before. Comfort wise, I still give the slight edge to the EC2 from Zowie, but that doesn't take away from just how good this lower profile shape of the Deathadder V3 Hyperspeed is. And side by side, the EC2, honestly, it just feels like a brick, so there's that too. They also put the smooth touch coating on this mouse, which is grippy and super comfortable, especially when you're sweating. You're not gonna get that slipperiness or all that condensation on it. It's amazing. My favorite coating on any mouse by far. And like I said, where's the compromise? Because this same coating is on their top of the line V3 Pro. So I'm confused. I'm confused. Is this a Pro? Now Razer also put their top of the line Gen 3 optical switches on this, and they are light and they are crispy. I love them. They also work with the tolerances like they did on the V3 Pro and made them very tight. Amazing stuff there. And to be honest, I was maining the V3 Pro, and then when I switch over to this one, the clicks are actually better on the Deathadder V3 Hyperspeed than on the V3 Pro. Compromise? Where are they? And when you move on to the side buttons, you could tell they are really trying to improve there too. They have a nicer feedback than previous Razer mice. They are far from dull with barely any pre-travel. Excellent stuff there. The scroll was also light and defined, so hey guys, you already know what time it is. It's time for a sound test. Oh yeah. Another change that we saw on the Viper V3 Pro is the mouse feet. They have these two big ones like they do on here with one around the sensor. I didn't really like the V3 Pros because, you know, the glide was a little bit slower than what I like compared to 4 different feet. But here on the Deathadder Hyperspeed, since they are smaller feet, I find that this glides a lot faster than the Viper V3 Pro, and I actually prefer the glide on this mouse compared to the Viper V3 Pro. You know, that might be an idea for people making skates or third-party skates for the Viper V3 Pro. Maybe if you know, just take off a little bit here, take off a little bit in the front. You know, it doesn't even have to be 4 feet, but, you know, just make them a little bit smaller but still fit into that foot. Damn, I'm just making you guys money. Dang, I need to get paid for this. All right, so moving on to the sensor. To lower the price, they put in their new Focus X sensor, which is 26,000 DPI compared to their Focus Plus, which is 30,000 DPI. So they tried to scale back, and I believe this is the first time they're using the Focus X from what they're telling me, and there's no other PicsArt equivalent to it since it's their own proprietary sensor. They tried to make it a compromise, but in the end, at the end of the day, it still performs like any other Razer mouse. It's just super solid, no spin outs, no, like the accuracy is there, like crazy good sensor here. Now it does come with a 1000 Hertz dongle, but it is compatible with the hyper polling dongle that can reach up to 8000 Hertz, which is nice to see on a mouse of this price. So you're looking at about $130 for the whole thing if you want 8K or 4K on this mouse. I think that that's still a really good deal for what you're getting here because, like I said, there's no other compromises that you're having to make here. Now comes my favorite part of any Razer mouse review, and that is the Synapse software. Now I used to love this part because I got the dog on Synapse, but now I love it for a different reason. I love it because they're adding so much features into Synapse that are useful for everyday use. Razer just said straight up, hey, put some respect on Synapse's name. So my favorite features that are in Synapse, feature that they have is the ability to change the orientation of your mouse. So maybe you hold your mouse straight or maybe you hold it at an angle on your mouse pad. Now there's compensation that can happen within the software and it can recognize that, which is another cool feature to have. And now they've added in this new feature where you can use raw XL, or what Razer is calling it, the dynamic sensitivity. This essentially is if you want to have a low sensitivity, but you find that you can't turn around quick enough if somebody's shooting you in the back. We've all been there. What this dynamic sensitivity can do is while you're facing somebody, you'll have your normal low sensitivity, but if you swing the mouse really fast, it'll actually speed up and excel, giving you a higher sensitivity for a brief moment. And then when you turn around and get your little micro adjustment, that's when it goes back down to your low sensitivity. So you get the best of both worlds. And you can customize these graphs however you want. It gets pretty deep. I've played around with it a little bit. For me, I have a medium sense, so I don't find this as useful, but I find that if you want to have a very low sensitivity, this can work. And I've seen people even have higher sensitivities or medium sensitivities, but for me, I don't think it's really necessary, but hey, a lot of people play around with it and have a lot of great success with this. I'm gonna drop some resources in the description for you guys so you guys can check it out and learn more about Raw XL. I'm not gonna go too in depth in it on this video. I wanna focus mainly on the mouse, but it is there. Normally you have to go to a third-party software, but now Razer has it all encompassing in their Synapse software, which is amazing. So Razer's just doing everything right now. They've got the shape on point, they've got the sensors, the technology inside. Now their software is bussing. They are really hard to beat right now. I mean, they're putting stuff like the EC2 and Zowie in the dirt. Like, why would you buy this when you can have this with like the higher polling rate, the lower weight, the better clicks, in my opinion, like the better skates, like, yo. I mean, come on. Do I need to say more? So I want to end the video with who this mouse is for. It's for the people that love the Deathadder V3 Pro but wanted something smaller, like myself and like many of you out there. It's for people with medium or small hands, or even large hands that use like more of a claw grip, or just enjoy a smaller mouse. If you love the EC2 but want more of an updated, more modern mouse, Deathadder V3 Hyperspeed is the one. The performance with this mouse is just incredible, and this Hyperspeed V3 just gives me so much hope that we are gonna see a Viper V3 Pro Hyperspeed. Is that what it'd be called? Or since there's already the V3 Hyperspeed and it's big, but it just gives me hope because now they're actually taking a look at the size of these mice and reducing them. So I think this is next, guys. I think I'm on that copium. I'm on that hopium. I hope this is next. I hope a Viper Mini V3 Pro Hyperspeed is next. So here's to hoping that we see that sometime this year. But for now, this is a banger mouse and it's gotten a lot of play time. And for me personally, in my time using it, I actually ranked up from Ascendant 1 to Ascendant 2 in one day. Didn't lose a match with this mouse. It is a performer, didn't skip a beat, and it is amazing. And it's hard to go back to the V3 Pro after having these clicks. I'm telling you, it's hard. All right, guys, so that's gonna do it for this video on the Deathadder V3 Hyperspeed. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have any more questions about this mouse, let me know down in the comments below. And let me know, are you gonna pick one of these mice up? If not, why? Why not? It's kind of a banger. I don't know. All right. Anyways, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.